Hi everyone, and welcome to the Aero UK Open and National Championships 2020. My name is Ben Dagnall and I'm the Commodore here at Eastbourne Sovereign Sailing Club. Over the last few months we've been working tirelessly to make sure we can hold an event for you in this new environment we find ourselves in. The challenges have been enormous and many meetings have taken place to get here today. But myself and all of us here at ESSC are very pleased to be able to welcome you all to your nationals. Of course, it pretty much goes without saying that this event will be very different from anything you may have been to before. COVID-19 has changed things for all of us, and this event is no exception. So while you're here, let me run through a couple of things you'll find different over the next few days. Firstly, everything about the event will be on the Aero event page of the ESSC website. It has everything on there you will need to know, including the notice board. But most importantly are the risk assessments and special instructions for this event. Please study them carefully, as these explain how we will be running the different aspects of this event under a COVID-safe flag. A QR code will be placed around the site, which you can scan with your mobile device to take you to the page straight away. We are also running a cashless event to assist with the COVID-safe environment. When you do arrive, the first thing you must do is seek out the car park marshal. He will give you further instructions and direct you to the registration team located on the club patio. You will be allocated into a coloured group of 30 and handed a coloured wristband to wear whilst with us. You must also declare your safety bubble of 6 competitors at this point. This is to enable safe distancing and so you can help each other out whilst at the water's edge. Please do not unload your boat from your vehicle until you have been to registration. All competitors will be given their own safely distanced berth on the beach, and we ask that you respect your neighbours whilst there. As much rigging must be done in your space before being called down to the water's edge. What we are looking for is boats just to hoist sails and go. The same applies in reverse after racing is done each day. There will not be any winches available, but Aeros are so light it'll be really easy just to pull them back up to your space. Staggered launching will be in operation, helping to keep everyone distanced at the water's edge. Don't worry though, everyone will be able to get to the start line in good time. Keep an eye and ear out for your colour group being released for launching. When returning to the shore, please be patient and take instruction from either the safety rib or the beach team. We want to bring people ashore safely, but we cannot do this if everyone bundles onto the beach at the same time. Tally boards will be safely distanced and will involve flipping over your own card before and after sailing. These will have your name and safety bubble written on them, and only you can touch your card. Dinner will be split into 2 sittings, with seating set out as per government guidelines for restaurants inside the club. There will be a one-way system in place, and everyone must wear a face covering the moment you step onto the front ramp. Only while sitting down to eat may you remove your mask or face covering to do so. All ESSC volunteers at the bar and galley will also be wearing face coverings. The galley itself will be available for food and drink each day, but we'll be asking you to vacate the building as soon as your purchase is made. The rear of the club will be your social area, with RS helping us to provide a perfect place for relaxing after sailing with their outside equipment from the Weymouth Games, plus our own large marquee too. The biggest difference, regrettably, is that we cannot allow any use of our changing rooms, showers or toilets. We will have sufficient portaloos on site that will be located behind the Aero social zone at the rear of the club. They will be manned all day, every day, by an external cleaning company who will clean each one after use. We will also have hoses available on the beach to wash down your boats and yourself too. I hope you can all understand why we've had to make these decisions to enable this event to go ahead. In these uncertain times, we want to be able to provide you all with something to race for again. But our top priority is the safety of everyone, including our own members and the local community. We want everyone to be safe during your time with us, so please help us to help you. Please respect any instruction given to you by an Eastbourne member, and if you have any queries, please do consult either the information on the website, the registration team when you arrive, or any Eastbourne member whilst you're with us. Thank you everyone for listening, and I hope you have a truly fantastic event. Cheers.
Hi everyone, my name's Gary Smith, I'm your race officer. It's Monday evening. We just thought we'd come down on the beach and do the competitors briefing, which is a bit surreal because normally I'm surrounded by lots of faces looking at me, and all I can look at now is Ben's ugly mug, so it's a little bit different, but I hope this will suffice. Excuse me if I look down at my notes, but I don't want to miss anything, so we've put the sea in the background so you've got something to look at instead of the top of my head. I'm delighted to be a race officer for your national championship, and we're all really looking forward to it here at Eastbourne. I'm putting a lot of work to be ready for you. I expect you're all a bit fed up with being told what you can't do, but I've got the good news telling you what we're going to do. On the water is going to be as normal to a normal national championship as we can get. It's your holiday, it's our time off, it's my holiday, so we want you to have a really good time. Behind me, as you can see, is probably one of the best bits of water in the UK. We're biased, but we think we're right. Let's have a run through some of the important sailing stuff that the briefing's supposed to contain. The sailing instructions, we're not going to print them out, we don't want people handing around copies to everyone, so they're going to be on the event page of the club website. There's an appendix with a course diagram there showing the course that is familiar to you all, I know. The marks, orders of rounding and their colours are also described. So please have a really good read through of the sailing instructions and of the course appendix. If you've got any questions, you can let us know. I look at the Aero Facebook page quite often, or you can contact the club. If there's any queries, let us know. We want you to be completely sure of the sailing instructions. Or ask your dynamo of a class rep, Pete Barton, who we can't seem to keep still for 2 seconds. He's such a bundle of energy. It may have been a while since some of you took part in a big fleet race. I hope some of you have had some sailing this year. But we thought we'd start off with the P as your 4-minute signal, rather than going straight to a more punitive one. If there's a general recall, then we'll have to switch to the U flag, so make sure you're aware of how that works. But we'll start off with a P and see how you go. It's always good to start with a P. If it's not your start, please keep clear of the start line. You'll be called to the start when it's your turn, in the normal way. Launching. Now you're going to be on the beach in groups, that'll all be explained to you. And you'll be in a coloured group, you'll have a colour assigned to your group. And what we're going to do is launch you in your colours, either one colour or 2 colours at a time. So we'll fly a flag from the club mast, and you'll know, and you'll be informed that's your turn to come down and launch. There's over 100 boats to launch, so we want to keep people apart a little bit while we're launching until we're actually on the water. Within your colour group, you're going to be in little groups of 6, like your little mini bubbles if you like. And if, as far as possible, people in your little group can help you to launch. Don't worry about your trolleys. The beach master and his team will take care of those when you're afloat. And we're doing a hot trolley system for this event, whereby when you come ashore you use the trolley that's given to you, and we'll sort it all out on the last day so you get your trolley back. You might even end up with a better one than you had, so that might be good. We'll allow enough time for you all to reach the race area, because obviously we don't want people bundling together and causing a problem. So there will be enough time. I'll be in contact with the beach master and the event coordinator, so they will let me know if any delays can or can't be avoided. So don't dawdle, get out there as soon as you can. We want to get on with the racing. Hazards. Well, you can see the breakwaters behind me. Ben will pan round a bit in a minute. They extend a fair bit out. You'll probably be able to see the ends of them at low tide, although this weekend the tides aren't particularly low, so they might not reach the end. So just avoid them, keep towards the middle of the beach. They're pretty solid, they've got nasty metal tops, so we don't want you clanging into one of those. In the sailing instructions we mention a surface water outfall, which is over my right hand shoulder. It's no big deal. When you're on that beach you will see what it is. I don't think it extends any further than the other breakwaters, it's even more solid. It's marked on the top with a port hand navigation buoy, so you shouldn't have any problems. When the tide's in, most of the breakwaters and that surface water pipe will be under the water, so you won't see it. But the end of it is marked by that wire basket, so it'll be clear to keep clear of it. Other hazards I've been asked about. Well, we don't have any mud here. We don't really have any sandbanks to talk of. There's a little one maybe at the very lowest tide, 25 yards off the beach, where you might just think you can get your board down, but just delay it a little bit. But there's only sand, there's no big rocks in it. There's no ferries, there's no rocks out at sea, so we think this is a good clear bit of water. The only other hazard I can think of is Reenie in the galley. Don't moan about the food. Make sure you take enough food and drink out with you, and remember not to pass anything to any of the motorboats. They can't take anything from you on the boat. Clothing or your rubbish or anything like that. But I'm sure you're not uncouth enough to throw things at the motorboat. Recovery. Now the racing's all gone brilliantly, you've all had a smashing time, so when we come back in, hopefully it'll be like this and the sea's quite flat. I'd like you to get some Eastbourne waves to sail in to see what Eastbourne can be like, but if the waves are up and big, it might be tricky when you come ashore. Where Aeros are wonderfully light, so what we're going to do if it's rough is simply pick you up out of the water. So when you come in, you pick up one side, someone will pick up the other side of your boat, keep it head to wind, put it on the trolley on the beach, lower your sail and move your boat out the way. When you've done that, if it's rough and the beach is busy, how it works here at Eastbourne is you help the boat behind you. You'll be perfectly safe being the other side of an Aero from someone. You're not going to be in too close contact. But if there's someone coming in, it looks like they need a hand, when your boat is secure, if everyone helps the boat behind them, we'll all get out of the water, which is where the damage might be done. I don't think it'll be a problem, but we have to mention that in case it kicks up really rough and we get a squall through and everyone has to come back in. Boats all arriving back to the beach together could be a problem. We don't really want the beach team to be overwhelmed. They will be very efficient. We're used to doing big events and getting boats out of the water with no problem. If you all come in at once, they won't be able to help you, so you risk damaging your boat. So the plan is to stagger the arrival back onto the beach of the fleets. So the gap between the starts on the last race of the day will be slightly longer than the gaps for the other races. This is to spread the fleets out so the beach team can get one fleet up the beach. By the time you've finished your race, you'll be able to sail straight ashore. We'll probably have some motorboats just offshore when you're returning to the beach, and if the beach team are struggling to cope with the numbers, the motorboats will be instructed to just keep you off the beach for a while, and we'll let you in a few at a time, 4 or 5 at a time. It won't take long, nobody will get left behind, and it's the safest way to get you all ashore without any damage. We don't really like anyone queue jumping and ignoring the boats and running to the front of the queue. That's frowned upon. Not good form here at Eastbourne. Right, this is my last page of stuff. It's good because it's getting a bit dark actually. The official notice board, we're not going to have a physical notice board in the club. It's going to be online again on the club's site event page where everything will be put. So look out there for amendments to the sailing instructions, alterations of the schedule of races if we need to alter it because of the weather, one form or another, and also all your results will be there. If there's any amendments, we'll fly flag L on the club mast, which you'll easily be able to see from where you're berthed on the beach, and that'll tell you that there's an amendment applying to that day. If there's an amendment that applies for the whole event, we'll leave L up, so it might be as well to check the website every morning before we come down. You have your usual on the water judge, David Batty, who is also the chair of the protest committee, so thank you David for agreeing to do that. So I look forward to seeing him blatting about his ribbon whistling at you. It could be quite funny. Not David's not funny, but it could be quite funny watching you all spin there. Tips. Bring a folding chair with you. They're much more comfortable than the stones on the beach. And if we get a little crowded in one area, it gives us more options for you to be able to go and sit, so we're not in such big groups. Where are we? Oh yeah, there's I like looking on your Aero Facebook page for updates, and I'll be putting some unofficial comments, and other members of the committee boat and the race team. We're putting some unofficial comments on there, nothing that pertains to the racing or the rules or anything, just things we've seen, something that's made us laugh, something we think was interesting for the day, and probably some of the decisions we've had to make because of the conditions. So look out there, and you're welcome to give us a bit of banter back. We're quite happy with that. That's it for now. We might well have another video briefing if there's something important to tell you. Hopefully Storm Eric or whatever it's called will have passed through, and we're going to have a really good event. I look forward to seeing you all here. If it's not on the beach, then I'll see you on the water. So if I'm not looking too frantic, say hello as you sail by. Thanks very much.